that, we bring in our panel here. Joining us on the dock, Lieutenant Chris Olivares of the Texas Department of Public Safety. You saw him a few times during some of our pieces. Jorge Ventura, a reporter who spent years following the border crisis and joins us now. And Joel Villarreal, mayor of Rio Grande City, that's just up the river from here and experiences some of the same problems that Del Rio does. We'll start with you, Mayor. How long can your community hang on with what immigration policies, both sides of the immigration policies are doing?
This is not sustainable. In fact, when you're looking at this immigration crisis, it does have a deleterious effect on our communities, our local economies. In fact, oftentimes when I'm visiting with potential investors, I find myself having to continually correct this false narrative and mischaracterization of our communities. And that's one of the things that we need to continually drive. For example, the Rio Grande Valley is a great place to live, to work, and to forge the American dream. We have the...
Aside from the mosquitoes, it's been fantastic. What else would President Biden learn if he came down here to the border that you feel he doesn't understand?
Well, and that's the point, you see. And this is something that we need to say. Contrary to misconceptions, we've had a humanitarian crisis under every president for the last several decades. And this is nothing different. And that's one of the things that we truly, if we continue in the same trajectory without prioritizing immigration reform and subsequently having the political will to address it, then 10 years from today, we're going to be having the same conversation.
Well, we've had it since every president since Reagan.
Absolutely.
Lieutenant, I wanted to get your thought on this. Because so often when you hear the conversation, it's either one or the other, right? Either we have border security and therefore we are heartless, terrible human beings, or if you listen to cable news, on the other side, if we just grant asylum to anybody, then we have open borders and people are going to take over America. Those are the two extremes. Is there a middle ground where you and your fellow lawmen can keep the country safe and the border secure and still allow those who have legitimate claims for asylum to get in?
Right. So one thing I want to touch what the mayor said. He's right on point as far as previous administrations. We always had this issue. We always had illegal immigration. We always had drugs pouring into our state. But nothing to what we see right now, the historic numbers. It's unprecedented what we're seeing right now. But yes, there is a middle ground. And the fact is that we are deploying state resources right now to the southern border to try to surge the border to stem migration that's coming across, that's affecting potential cities, along the border. Yeah. And right now, it's just been historic, the numbers that we're seeing, and we're providing so many resources to help our federal partners. Right now, we're deploying over 1,000 Texas Department of Public Safety personnel to the southern border from the Rio Grande Valley to Del Rio, and that's including the Texas Military Department as well. So a lot of resources are going into this because right now the federal government is not stepping in, they're not taking action. So,
and a lot of your troopers are assigned other places in the state to try and deal with this. Jorge, you've been on the front lines of this and talked to so many of the people coming over. Is there a clear distinction between the bad guys, if you will, the smugglers, the cartel members, and the people coming to America trying to seek a better life?
It's a clear distinction, but the thing what we're seeing right now is that these vulnerable communities in Central America, South America, and beyond, they're being taken advantage by these cartels and human smugglers that are selling them a false dream that, hey, if you just make it to the border, you'll be released into the United States.
So long as you pay us $5,000 or $10,000 or $15,000 or $25,000.
Exactly, and Leland here is actually, these are the bracelets that the migrants have to wear to pay to cross the Rio Grande River. This is what we were reporting here last night, but women, children, family units all have to pay these human smugglers, these cartels, to cross, and it's extremely dangerous because we're putting the most vulnerable communities in these countries in danger.
You and I saw a lot of 8, 9, 10-year-old kids. Some of the Border Patrol guys were saying how oftentimes they're delivering babies out here. They're having 10-month-old babies die. Where does this go next? We already know that there's 4,000 or 5,000 more Haitians coming. Are you all just sort of preparing for the next city that they come to?
That's all we can do right now is just deploy our resources, work with our local officials, work with our local police departments, county officials as well, county sheriffs, because this surge is going to continue unless there's some policies that are put in place.
Mayor, as you think about this, you watch what was happening in Del Rio with 15 or 20,000 people. Did you think, hey, this could have just as easily been my town?
Absolutely. In fact, and this is one thing, contrary to misconceptions, border communities are in favor of securing the border. The question is simply how. What is that right mixture of personnel, infrastructure, and technology? We have local, state, and federal law enforcement agencies working together to safeguard the public and secure the border. And that's one thing that, and we praise our law enforcement. We support them 100%, and they are doing a tremendous job. However, there's something where they do need the help in D.C. And absolutely that's something that our politicians, that our leaders need to really rectify in reference to this whole
That
concept.
you can have both at one time. One thing that caught our eye, and we say this not in jest, but to make a point. This is video from China about building a wall, quote unquote, and they have one pretty incredible wall. The video you're watching right there was from some of Lieutenant Alvarez's men in the drug stashes they found. But we're going to put this video up. There it is from China of a barbed wire on their southern border. Is there a way, Lieutenant, to have a impenetrable wall but still have a place that people can come and seek asylum?
So one thing that Governor Greg Abbott has done, in addition to launching and deploying all these resources to the southern border, he got the Texas Military Department to construct a border fence in Del Rio because of the surge that Del Rio was facing. So now we have construction of a border fence on some of the properties, some of the ranches, and we are making arrests on some of these illegal immigrants that are getting across. Now, these are the single males and females that are avoiding apprehension. As far as families and unaccompanied children, they're still getting released to Border Patrol, and Border Patrol processes them. But our main focus is the criminal elements, the ones that are getting by us, the ones that are avoiding detection, because we've come across criminal gang members, MS-13, we come across individuals that have ties to criminal, transnational criminal organizations as well. So it's not only a humanitarian crisis, also a national security crisis as well.
Yeah, we've heard that from a number of people with knowledge of what's happening here. Jorge, real quickly, last to you. How good are the criminal elements at sneaking in with these people coming seeking asylum? Do you run into people and it's very clear you've got part of the group that everybody makes sense and there's a quiet guy over there who's very different than the rest?
So what we're seeing when we speak to Border Patrol sources is that these cartels and human smuggling groups, they like to push up these family units to one sector at a time. Like this, Border Patrol is busy apprehending these units, and like that, the drugs come in. The last time I spoke to a Border Patrol source, he's telling me that the fentanyl increase has been 600% into the country.
Wow.
So it's alarming what's happening. It's numbers that we've never seen.